And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of New Earth Tarot. Good to be with everybody here once again today. We're going to have another great, exciting webcast today, as we're going to be taking people's questions on chat. So again, just making sure that your questions are semi-personal or general in nature. Please no personal questions. That is what private sessions are for. So before we go ahead and get started with today's broadcast, we're going to go ahead and begin with our announcements.
The world's first spiritual rejuvenation technology in the form of modern everyday items has arrived through Etherics. Etherics offers transcendental healing products that work to detoxify, replenish, and restore you on a physical, emotional, and mental level. The Aether Bed Kit takes the form of a powerful rejuvenation technology that utilizes your own life force energy to restore organs, glands, bodily systems, the energy system, and replenish emotional and mental well-being. The Etherics card decks, the healing code cards, eliminate and detoxify physical, emotional, and mental conflicts within the body. 44 beautifully designed geometrical cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. The Healing Code cards come in 3 different themes: the body, mind, and energy decks, each with their own specific design to renew and rejuvenate the body. Etherics apparel and accessories that offer comfortable attire and beautiful geometrical and image designs to detoxify, strengthen, and rejuvenate the body. Download our collection of free sample images and cards from our website so that you can witness the benefits of Etherics spiritual technology for yourself. Visit our website now at etherics.co and begin your rejuvenation journey with us.
And of course, private sessions, one-to-one private sessions, 3-question private email sessions, and distance healing requests are also available on newearthteachings.com. Like I said, I have also brought back Adronis. So if you are interested in doing a private session with me, yes, tarot readings are available, higher self communication is available, and of course, communication with Adronis is also available, just through private sessions though, not through the 3 questions by email. So you can check that out at newearthteachings.com. And of course, up until February 25th, we have the promo code here, mid-Feb, available. Okay, so you get 15% off everything on Etherics.co. There's the website below. Our YouTube channel is also below at youtube.com/Etherics store. I just did a video yesterday about commonly asked questions with Etherics as well too. So I think I'll probably do more of those each and every single month. It's quite helpful for people to get more of an understanding about the ether bed. Like I said, guys, the ether bed is the closest thing to a med bed, right? Make sure you're also taking advantage of the affiliate program. Okay, so if you go to the website, etherics.co, on the nav bar, you'll see the affiliate application there. You can fill it out. I'm already getting quite a few affiliates already, and this is going to be a big help just to help to get the word out, and you also make an income as well too. So you can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram also. And next week, I'll be doing another episode of Etherics live stream. So that will be happening on the Wednesday, which is the 1st. So on March 1st, another Etherics live stream is going to be happening. So I'm looking forward to that as well too. And of course, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after next, there will be another Transmissions with Adronis live webinar that will be happening as well too. Really enjoyed the last one, the return of Adronis. So each of them will be referred to as Transmissions from Adronis. So that will be the name of the webinar. That will be happening every 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that as well too. But again, check out Etherics, check out the ether bed. I also do have some of the body decks that have come in. I've actually found an old box. So I do have some extra body decks that I was able to put on the Etherics website. So the body deck is also available right now. I might have some of mine, an energy deck. I have to double check. But right now, the body deck, I found some extras. So that's available on Etherics.co right now. Okay, and final announcement is everything on this YouTube channel is backed up onto Odyssey. New Earth Teachings backup channel is odyssey.com/@newearthteachings, so you can also go into the video description and you can follow me there as well too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with today's broadcast. And hello everybody. So we're on the live chat. Glad to see you all here once again today. We've had some very, very interesting weather here in Langley, BC. That's where I am, in British Columbia. So basically, I'm sure a lot of people have been noticing that there's been a lot of wind chill. There's also reports of Los Angeles trying to get a blizzard, right? Can we say weather manipulation technology? So I think we're going to start off the broadcast today. We're going to look into this weather manipulation technology. We're going to look more into the idea of bringing all this cold weather down across the West Coast. It's really been windy here for the past couple of days, and the wind chill factor has been very intense as well too. It's been about on Celsius level for about -2, -3, -4 degrees Celsius pertaining to wind chill. I know Americans use Fahrenheit, but you can do a conversion. We use Celsius here in Canada. But basically they're trying to bring a lot of this cold Arctic winds and cold Arctic weather all the way down the West Coast. That's what they're attempting to do. Now, I don't think it will succeed quite well. But again, this is you could say it's more WEF shenanigans, right? Trying to impose that, oh no guys, it's climate change. It's climate change. No, it's you playing around with artificial weather manipulation technology, you betcha weirdos. That's what's going on. This has nothing to do with natural weather occurrence. Okay? This is not something that's being naturally produced by the Earth. This is an artificially induced technology, often quite commonly with scalar technology that can do this. Other forms of technology as well too, that some of the dark cabal still has. Right. So we're going to do a couple readings on the weather manipulation technology for the West Coast. Because like I said, I have seen reports of people thinking that a blizzard may start to come into Los Angeles. Right. So yeah, someone says here it's pretty damn cold here in LA. Yeah, welcome to the Canadian weather. Exactly. Right. So yeah, this is all weather manipulation technology. So we're going to look into this. We're going to see what this whole alibi is pertaining to this attempted blizzard operation that's going on. Right. So let's take a look. Is this counter forces? Is this dark cabal? Let's take a look and see what this is first. Behind the Operation Blizzard, right? Operation West Coast Blizzard, I would basically refer to it as. Some people may say, oh, this is kind of like the idea of the Ice Age. Well, this is basically how they try to manufacture it. But like I said, it's going to get one of those cosmic denial stamps. But let's ask, is this something that is created through the counter forces, or is this a dark cabal plot? Right, let's take a look. Okay. Oh yeah, it's dark cabal indeed. It's definitely dark cabal. So this has been them. This is their shenanigans. They're trying to play out this whole climate change idiocy, right? This whole shenanigan that they're doing. But they're basically being retaliated against, right? So it's not going to deliver the results that they think it's going to deliver. It's going to flip around, right? So it's basically going to turn their agenda on its head and drop. Okay. So that's what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to get wind chill, Arctic winds, cold weather going all the way down to California, and just trying to create this blizzard operation. Oh no, it's climate change, guys. It's all us, right? I don't think it's going to last though. I think it's going to be very, very short-lived, right? I think it's going to be something that's just going to kind of fizzle out. That probably won't take that long, right? So there'll be some cold days, of course, like that, but I think they're going to be short days. And I don't think this is going to be extending itself very, very long. Feels like it's going to get canceled out here very, very quickly. Feels like a new opportunity. Here's the warmth, the sunshine, right? It kind of represents the warm card. So, I mean, it's not going to last. I'd say, if anything, maybe a few days. After that, that's about it. They tried to do this as well, too, around November and December last year. Just around BC as well, too, trying to create this blizzard. And it was snowing for maybe about 2 days, and we had about 1 to 2 feet of snow. After that, it just kind of went away, like after a couple of days. So whatever they were trying to do, it was like a fart in the wind. It didn't really last that long, right? So that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here. It's an attempt. It is Dark Cabal, right? Dark Cabal is written all over this, and they're desperate, right? This is the whole idea of them trying to realize, okay, well, our virus agendas aren't working. A lot of these other poisoning agendas aren't working. Let's try and use weather manipulation. Let's try and use weather manipulation technology, and let's try and saturate the entire West Coast with this cold front. Let's try and get a blizzard going. Let's make it a West Coast blizzard, okay? None of these things are natural, right? I mean, if you really look at this with a strong, discerning mind, you can realize that none of this is natural. This is not Mother Earth doing any of this whatsoever. They're utilizing this technology. Some people say it's HARP. I'd have to disagree. It's not HARP, okay? HARP is actually controlled much more now by the counterforces. Counterforces would actually be using things like HARP to actually counteract these things. HARP is no longer under the control of Dark Cabal. All right, I've looked in that many times, okay, through readings. So no, this is something else. This is more like different types of scalar technology that they have, right? You just use scalar. And scalar can do this. It can work with manipulating the current, right? The jet stream can come in and start bringing in all these Arctic winds. They're futzing around with a lot of the Arctic weather, and they're bringing that down. And that's quite commonly used through scalar technologies and other forms of weather manipulation frequency technologies. But surprisingly, it's not HARP. Okay, we can even look into that. Okay, we can even look into that right now. But quite a few of the readings I've got in the past have said, no, the HARP is basically taken over by the counterforces now. So let's take a look. When actually you're seeing HARP activity, that's actually the counterforces. But let's take a look and saying that the HARP station in Alaska is that now under the control of the counterforces. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yep. It's definitely not HARP that's doing this, guys. Okay, this is a really good reading as well, too. It's all counterforces. Okay, counterforces control all the HARP stations on the planet right now. Dark Cabal doesn't have access to it anymore. This is why they're kind of using their own backup weather manipulation technology like scalar frequencies and so forth. Okay, so it's basically at rest. It's not responsible for what's happening right now. But they are using it as a counteroffensive. They will use it as a counter initiative, and they will basically try, okay, well, they're trying to pump all this stuff up. Well, then we're going to use our technology that we have to reverse that effect. Okay, so no, this is definitely under counterforce activity. So they basically have it under guard right now. So like I said, a lot of their toys, a lot of the Dark Cabal toys have been taken away. They only have a few things left. And the few things that they do have left, that's what they're desperately trying to use right now, using scalar technology. My guess is probably things with satellites, maybe other forms of ground-based frequency bombardments as well too. A lot of different shenanigans. Like I said, different types of technology. I'm no expert in regards to the type of technology that they have, but I do know that they have access to like scalar and other forms of frequency technology that you can turn on, and you can manipulate the weather. It's very, very simple just to bring, Arctic weather, bringing it down south. And it's quite simple to do that. You can do that with satellites. You can do that with scalar frequencies. Of course, when they had control of HARP, you could use HARP for that as well too. But HARP is under counterforce jurisdiction. It's not under Dark Cabal jurisdiction anymore. So that's very good news, right? So basically, the whole idea is that they're playing out these agendas. And I think the last question we're going to look at too, before I get into your guys' questions, is how long are we expecting this weather warfare, we could say, to last? How long do we feel it's going to stretch itself out for? So we'll take a look at that. Then we'll get into your guys' questions. I think these are just important questions to look at because the entire West Coast is getting bombarded by this right now. So let's take a look at that. How long are these weather manipulation warfare tactics or weather warfare agendas supposed to last for, right? Can we see them last well up into the end of 2023? Okay. We'll see what comes through there. Someone just said on the chat, Etherics cotton bed launches soon, maybe next week. Guys, I haven't said anything like that. Okay, I haven't said anything about the cotton beds being launched next week. Guys, you please do not do that. Okay, do not put words on the chat of what I do not say. Okay, no, the Etherics cotton bed kit is not coming out next week, and it's not coming out the next couple of weeks. I haven't given you guys a date yet about when the cotton beds come out, so please don't put words in my mouth and assume that I'm saying something when I don't say it. Okay? When the cotton beds come out, I know it's off topic, but when the cotton bed kit comes out, I will let you guys know. You do not put any dates out when I haven't put any dates out. Okay? Please don't do that. Not good. Okay? That just gets people excited, and then they say, oh, Brad, I heard this person say that you're going to get this out. Like, we're just wasting time with emails on something I haven't said. So please don't do that, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, well, it looks like things are going to be really exposed today, this year. Well, not today, but this year, regarding the winter warfare with this whole, or not winter warfare, but weather warfare pertaining to weather technology and all that stuff. So I think a lot of this stuff is being implemented. My feeling is it's all fingers really pointing back at the WEF, at the World Economic Forum in that way. So they're creating waves, right? It's this whole idea in that sense that there's manipulation. This also tells me like the idea of the tide shifting, right? This is all man-made manipulation. This is all man-made engineering, okay? And but basically in that sense, we will prevail, right? The whole idea of what they've been attempting to use this technology for, they've been trying to create a worldwide Armageddon. They've been trying to create, a hellish world with trying to get everything pumped out with all this weather manipulation and tectonic manipulation and volcanic manipulation. They've tried to manipulate volcanoes. They've tried to manipulate floods. They're trying to manipulate earthquakes. They've been trying to manipulate these storms, these Arctic storms. All of these things that they've been trying to do every single time, they've been foiled, right? So this is all in the hands of the dark cabal in the background. So they're still trying to flex their muscle. They're still trying to use the technology that they have remaining to basically try and create a scare and trying to create the climate change agenda, right? So basically, if COVID didn't work, well, then let's go right into the climate change agenda. We're going to go right into climate change. We're going to do all this stuff. That's not working, right? It fizzles out. They start it, and then it fizzles out. Then they start it, and it drops. So basically, it feels like there's going to be an exposure coming here, probably before the end of the year. So I think before 2023, we're going to see a lot more exposure pertaining to these weather manipulation technologies. And I think they're going to do like a soft disclosure of it. Do you know that we have the ability to control weather? Do you know we have the ability to make it rain and so forth, right? So they're basically trying to ease in the soft disclosure relating to weather manipulation technology. So as more and more people become aware of it, and when they're actually being told, when you're seeing out of place weather, well, that has to do with man-made manipulation. So people are going to start cluing in. Wait a minute, this isn't natural. So there's weather manipulation technology going on, and there's a soft disclosure that's going to be happening regarding this weather manipulation technology altogether. So yes, it does feel like it's going to be further exposed throughout the year, and I think as we get to the end of the year, perhaps there's a good sign here that may represent that we're going to be a lot more educated about this weather manipulation technology. This has been around for a very, very long time. And so now everything, like I said, not a single stone is being left unturned regarding that. So I think by the end of 2023, we'll have a lot more light shed in regards to these weather manipulation technologies. And when you're seeing these things, you know that that is artificial. This would also represent the idea of chemtrails as well too. So I think we're going to have a lot of disclosure, even if it's soft, coming forward as well too. We may also have a year of more extraterrestrial disclosure this year as well too. Maybe that's something I'll look into right now. There are some who are talking about more of an opportunity for extraterrestrial disclosure in 2023. So why don't we take a look at that? Will we see more bigger truth bombs, actually maybe not truth bombs, maybe greater disclosure of the extraterrestrial presence this year? See what comes up for that. I know I'm going through a couple of these questions, guys, but they're kind of big things that are kind of sitting on the burner, and I'm just bringing them forward and seeing what we can see here. So we're going to see more of a disclosure regarding extraterrestrial presence this year. And let's see what comes up. I would say it's definitely yes. Okay, we may see some really big truth bombs coming out this year regarding extraterrestrial disclosures. The past, this is kind of where they were kind of getting things organized. I think they were getting things assembled to bring forward some very deep information. Okay, so 9 of Cups, so we have something here in regards to successful endings. So I think the idea of a lot of this reclusive information surrounding extraterrestrial presence is now going to start coming to an end. So we're now going to start seeing the idea of bigger revealings of the extraterrestrial presence coming forward this year. So it looks like it. It looks like things are coming forward. There's some big surprises coming our way, right? We're going to look at things that we probably didn't see. So there may be some more document-based disclosure. There may be some more video proof. There may even be some sightings this year as well, too, regarding ET disclosure, which is really good because I'm going on the UK tour this summer. We're already sold out, but I'm going to be doing a tour there as well, too. And I will be bringing in a Dronos as well, too. Now that Dronos is coming in, I'm going to be bringing in some more conversation with him. I will be filming a lot of what is going to be done in the UK when I go for the Stonehenge tour in late July and early August. So there will be some filming there, so there will be some highlights in regards to that tour as well, too. I think a couple people are also getting on a waiting list as well, too, in case anybody cancels. So that may be available as well, too. Okay, so if you guys are still interested and you want to do a waiting list, then you would just go to WOW Tours, WOW Tours.de, and you can just ask to be put on a waiting list. In the event if anybody can't make it, then there's a waiting list for somebody to take their place. So that's always available too, should you want to do that. But anyways, yes, it looks like this is a really good year, that we may actually start to see a lot more exposure and revealing pertaining to the extraterrestrial presence about what's actually happening. So this is quite interesting. And we're moving in the right direction for this to happen. Okay, so 2023, like I said, it does represent a form of graceful year. And if this really happens, if there's some really big ET disclosure this year, wow, we're going to have some exciting news to come. Okay, and that may be, again, leading us down the road, not right away, but leading us in the right direction for eventually, in time, extraterrestrial contact. Okay, so it's exciting. We'll see how things go. All right, let me just close down some of these extra windows here. There we go. Okay, guys, now we're going to go ahead and get into your questions. So I wanted to get those two things, those two subjects regarding weather warfare technology, weather manipulation technology, and the ET disclosure, see how things are going. So now we're going to go ahead and move into your questions. So let me just go up the list here. If you guys do have donation-based questions, that will put you first in line. So if you want to leave a donation along with your question, just make sure when you're donating, put your question with your donation. Okay, don't just put your donation, put your question with it. That way I don't have to search the list to see if you asked a question or not. Okay? All right, let's take a look here. Okay, this one here is from Sonnet Hill. South Africa needs prayers. The 6 to 8 hours a day power cuts is killing our economy. Any insights, Brad, please? Okay. Well, guys, I have talked about South Africa quite a bit, right? Especially these past couple of months. Actually, matter of fact, like I said, when I went down to South Africa in 2019, I saw all these things happening. I was walking around Johannesburg, and I was just getting visions. I was walking down the street. I was just seeing people getting angry. I was seeing people retaliating. I was seeing the idea of riots. I was seeing the idea of protests. I was seeing people just having enough, and they basically overthrow their government. Okay? That's basically what needs to happen with South Africa. Okay? You guys are getting to the point where you won't even stand for any more leadership-based explanations, right? It's basically that your entire government is going to get overthrown. And that's basically where things are going to start changing, okay? It's going to be much more of a people-powered initiative, and that's what's going to take place with South Africa. So we're seeing these cuts, we're seeing these power outages. I know, I've been talking to people from South Africa who've been dealing with that now for quite a few months, right? I think it was maybe going back a year as well, too. It's been quite some time since you guys have had these power cuts, these blackouts as well, too, these rolling blackouts that are constantly taking place, okay? Like I said, guys, South Africa is a country that has been heavily manipulated. It's been heavily infiltrated by a lot of these dark hats, these dark cabal figures, okay? And I said that the best way for that to actually end is the complete and total dissolvement of the government as it stands right now. The current regime that is in charge, all of it needs to be dissolved. And like I said, all I've seen is visions. It's just the idea of riots, the idea of protests, the people of having enough, people just, having this fire right under their butts, and they're just getting out there and they're making their voices heard, and I think it's going to basically break people to the point where there's going to be some very, very intense situations happening in South Africa. If not already, it may start to intensify even more. Okay, but let's take a look at South Africa right now in regards to their economy, in regards to the blackouts that they're having. What is the situation in regards to South Africa and what they're going to be going through. So I'm going to do a big reading for this for my friends in South Africa, because I've been there, right? I do love South Africa. It's a very beautiful place. I love the rich ancient history that's there as well too. It's gorgeous. I hope to be there again one day. But let's take a look at South Africa, about the momentum forward, and I'm going to do what's known as my circle of 9 spread. Take a look at that. So what is the momentum ahead right now for South Africa? Okay. Yep, that's the whole idea, guys. You got to come together. Okay, you got to come together here, work together, and you're getting the corrupt out of your country. Okay, it's what you got to do. You got to come together. You got to stand together. You know, it's all about non-violence, of course, but it's the idea that you're standing together and saying we will not cooperate. We will not consent to the idea of how we are being treated anymore. Right? We're going to stand up for ourselves, and we're going to make a difference. So this again is representing the recent past. Okay, you guys have been shafted over and over and over again, right? The whole idea of like I said, when I've gone into South Africa, there's places I went to that were really beautiful, really enjoyable, and then there's places I go to that looked very, very grim and horrifying. Okay, South Africa has a lot of contrast to it altogether. So there needs to be the idea of unity, of coming together. Okay, you guys are about to flip the script. You guys are about to flip things upside down once again. Things are about to change. This is what's happening right now. This is exactly why these things are happening, Sonnet. Okay, the reason why all these things are happening is because you're looking at amazing change coming about. Guys, if there was no change, you wouldn't have to worry about your economy. You wouldn't have to worry about power outages. You wouldn't have to worry about government manipulation or anything of that nature. If there was no change, okay? When there's change, everything gets shaken up. All right, it's like just plucking a guitar chord. You got that intense oscillating vibration there with the chord. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now with South Africa. Okay, it's oscillating, it's shifting, it's moving itself into a new direction. And so basically, like I said, we have to remember we are the counter forces as well too. But you guys are moving into new ground. You guys are moving forward in a new way. It's going to take some time though, okay? Because you guys have to get on the same page. It's the people saying that we're no longer going to stand for this, right? We're getting angry. We're not listening to corrupt leaders who are trying to be our friends, who are pretending to be our friends. We're not listening to them anymore. We're going to completely stand up for ourselves, and we're going to watch this old government dissolve. And you will not settle for anything less. And that's what you guys have to do, okay? Near future, well, there's going to be some really, really good, okay? This is representing the near future of how things will go. Looks like there's going to be some rejuvenation, some healing taking place in South Africa because you guys will be able to attain victory, okay? So there's going to be some very big change. Of course, we have the dove here representing peace, transition, shifting into something new. This is within the next 1 to 3 months, okay? All of you South Africans watching right now, you are about to go through some major victories, major successful transitions within the next 1 to 3 months. Okay, it's very, very good. This is a great card to receive here in the background. Okay, it's kind of like the life lesson, right? You're standing up for yourselves. You're allowing yourselves to be rejuvenated because you're flipping the script. You're moving forward and you are demanding answers, and you are not settling for any corrupt politicians to try and tell you how you should live your life. You guys got to get out of the politic fiasco. And I'm not just talking about South Africa. I'm talking about the entire planet. The entire planet has got to get out of this politics thing to make it feel like politicians are okay. They're not. Okay? They're not even the real government. They're nothing but a stooge. They're nothing but just clowns. Right? 3-ring circus. We have got to get out of this political arena. You got to let that system die. And that's basically what needs to happen. We think, oh, we'll get some new politician. No, guys, don't get new politicians. You got to rethink everything. If you think that everything's going to be okay because there's a new elected leader and because there's still this old-fashioned political system that's corrupt to the bone, that's still running things, that is not what you want. You want that completely abolished, completely gone, and moving into something completely brand new. No more presidents, no more prime ministers, nothing. Something completely new. Brad, what would that entail? A republic. Okay? A republic is what you want, not a democracy. Okay? Not anything else. It's a republic that you want. It is a sovereignty that you want. And that's basically what's happening. This is why there's looking to be a republic of the United States. In time, there will be a republic of Canada. And everything will start to move much more into independence. When there's a lot more independency, that's when you guys know you're getting on the right track. We can certainly have leaders, but they're not following an old, broken wheel of political systems. Okay? South Africa has been under the mercy of that for a very long time, as have many other countries. Okay? I'd say the majority of countries in the world have been on this broken wheel, thinking that this broken wheel is going to take them home. But not only is it flat, it's bent, it's out of shape, it can't even really move anymore. We're trying to put our faith in a broken, dead, dying, falling apart wheel that can't take you home. It needs to die. Okay? The current political system as it exists today has to die. When that dies, and when there's much more independency coming together, when there's independent states, when there's independent provinces, when there's independent countries, now we're on the right track. Okay? If it's not doing that, we're not on the right track. Okay? If it's not doing that, if that's not what's happening, we're still going through the muck. We're still trudging through the dirt. Okay? That is not what you want. You do not want to put your faith in greedy, sinister, cynical politicians who are no more different than a bunch of clowns in a three-ring circus. Right? That's the whole idea, really. So right now, it's being able to work together, come together, restoring peace, taking off the blindfold, right? Looking deeper into the nature of the subconscious to realize what we really need to do here to work together, right? So whether that's through convoys, whether that's through rallies, whether that's through protests, whether it's coming together with your soul tribe, if you guys want to make a difference, right? Many people have to be involved. This is not a one-person thing. Oh, one person's going to do it. All right, they'll take care of it. No. People need to take care of people, okay? Not one person. That's what's got you guys into this mess in the first place. Put your power into one person, and they will fail. It's a collective. So therefore, when you start moving into independency, when there's independent states, independent provinces, independent countries, that's where things are getting ahead very, very well. You do not want to settle for anything less. It needs to be independency. That's what needs to happen. It needs to be sovereignty, because that reflects a republic. Okay? So, general advice right now is, it's agonizing times, particularly for the people in South Africa right now. But rather than being in that agony, you need to stand up, you need to take action, you need to look at all these things. Again, it's no more different than what I've been saying for these many weeks, right? These many months, even many years, I've been saying. It's time to get up, right? There's a lot of hard times, there's a lot of transition that's taking place right now, particularly in South Africa, because the corrupt have been there for so very long. It needs to shift around, right? This is what's happening right now. It's time for justice with South Africa, okay? So you guys are going to be going through some really big changes. Like I said, I think you're going to go through some very good successions here within the next 1 to 3 months. So keep an eye on that, see how things are going, okay? But also what I share here is not just for South Africa, it's for the entire world, okay? You want independency. You want republic, right? You do not want democracies, okay? You do not want anything lesser than a democracy. So you don't want a democracy, you don't want anything less than a democracy. All we want is sovereignty, independence, a republic. That's what you want. When you're there, that's when things are truly turning around. That's where we're fastening a whole new wheel here that can actually get us places, rather than trying to suck the life out of this dead wheel that can barely move, trying to get you home, and it can't do it. And that's us trying to cling on to a very, very old political system that has never had your interest in heart. Ever since this type of political system was born, it has never had the people's interest in heart. It has never worked in your favor. It has never been deemed in any form of evidence to be reliable. It's been nothing but slave-based programming, guys. You show me a time in regards to the current governmental systems that we're using right now that has benefited all of mankind, and I will write down everything that I said right now, and I'll eat the piece of paper right in front of you. Okay? You show me a time to when a governmental system like this has actually worked for the majority of people. It hasn't. It's been nothing but a shackle. It's been nothing but a prison. So why are we continuing to empower it? Why are we relying on all these leaders who are not equipped to do any form of work to assist you in your progression through life? Why are you giving them power? They don't deserve it. So this is where you need to get out of that mind control programming regarding these government political systems and these governmental political figures who don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. Okay? And getting out of that altogether. I'm talking about Trump too. Okay? It's another guy who doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground. Okay? And I know there's a lot of Trumpers out there like, oh, Brad, come on, you shouldn't be so mean to him. Guys, he's part of the system. He's part of the agenda. He's part of the movie. Okay? Whoever you see on screen is an actor. They're a staged stooge. Trump is a stooge. He's a paid actor. What do you think he had his own TV show? Okay? It's nothing but an actor. Yeah, he's working for the counterfeit in a certain way, but he's still being a figurehead. Still being a figurehead. He's still doing all these things. And like I said, if you're putting all of your power into a guy like that, you're lost. Okay? And if you're putting it into Biden, if you're putting it into Trudeau, if you're putting it into any of these other particular politicians who are trying to be on screen and say, oh, look at me smiling and all this stuff, and look at me with my big fancy golden wig and all that stuff. No. That's not going to help you at all. And it's about letting go of that, right? No, there's no animosity towards Trump, but the whole idea is that as long as you keep putting in and creating all this hero worship in that sense, that's just going to feed his ego a lot more. And basically it's a lot of the people that are working alongside of him that are really getting things done. It's not him himself. He's a figurehead. Okay? Putin's a figurehead. Trudeau's a figurehead. Biden's a figurehead. All these people are just figureheads. The royal family is a figurehead. We're looking at these on-screen personalities because these are the puppets with the strings, right? And the puppeteers are behind them, and they are the ones that are not showing their faces, right? And these ones are the ones who are really making the moves. It's a chess game behind the scenes, all right? So let's continue to move on. I know I could probably talk about that all day. Let's go down the list here. I think I saw a donation. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. And there's one donation. I'm not too sure if I saw another one. No, I guess there's just one. Okay. So this one donation here is from Ian. Ian, thank you very much for your donation. So you wrote, Brad, will all major vaccines, not just COVID ones, be largely phased out in the future in favor of natural holistic treatments? In the future, yes. Okay. But the reason why, again, they're trying to use these winter warfare and manipulation technologies in that sense is because COVID's not working, right? Now, most countries are able to fly to the United States without needing to do any form of proof of vaccination document, okay? Even the United States right now is starting to come around. That's huge because they're one of the last holdouts, all right? So, yeah, you can basically say that the entire COVID agenda, I would say about 95% of it right now is dead, okay? There's maybe about 5% of it left. And that's going to be dead probably before the end of the year. Okay. Other forms of vaccination agendas, well, all vaccines, guys, are completely unnecessary. You don't ever need a vaccine. Okay. Vaccine has never even been able to be proven scientifically to actually work, to do what it's meant to do. There's never been any evidence in regards to a person taking a vaccine and actually being able to completely be cured of whatever ailment or illness that they feel this vaccine can cure. It's never cured an illness. So why would you need it? So pretty much I would say almost all vaccines are scams. Okay? And you don't need it. Very much like what you said here, the natural holistic treatments. Okay? We could even look at the ether bed as a holistic treatment, okay, as a spiritual technology. I don't call it a medicine. It's not a medicine. I'm not practicing medicine with Etherics whatsoever. It's a spirit technology, right? It's a living technology. It's no more different here than the tarot cards, okay? This is a living card deck. The Etherics technology is a living technology. And so you're working with living spirit technology. It has a holistic nature to it, but it's not medicine in any way, okay? So when we're looking into the idea of real medicine in that sense, there's nothing about vaccines, right? You don't see the ancient ones basically with needles poking each other and trying to inject all these serums into people. There's nothing like that in the old times. So why is it here in the modern times? Because it's control agendas, guys. Because it's all about the idea of dumbing down the population. That's a lot of what these vaccinations do, okay? They affect you on much more deeper levels, and they're toxic, the majority of them, okay? Flu shots, horrible, okay? COVID injections, horrible. All these different types of injections in that sense. Not to say that there can be benefits with vaccines if they're used responsibly, if they're actually a little bit more research is done and they actually have pure-hearted people looking into it. Maybe we could see something good coming out of that. But no, with a lot of the pharmaceutical companies, if every particular form of vaccine that we're aware of that has come out of a pharmaceutical company, expect it to be corrupt, expect it to be toxic, expect it to be poisonous, okay? You do not want any form of vaccinations coming out of a pharmaceutical company, okay? That puts your health at risk greatly. And this is not something new. I've been talking about this for years, guys, about vaccinations. Even before COVID started, I was saying I'd recommend guys not getting vaccinations of any type. If it's from a pharmaceutical company, don't get it, right? They are corrupt to the bone. They are only attempting to feed an agenda. We have to get out of that old phase. This is why they're being put in the exposure light right now, right? People are seeing how horrifying Pfizer is, or Moderna, and all these other ones, okay? They're nothing but shills. They're nothing but greedy, horrifying, terrible corporations that want to shorten people's lives just so they can make money. That's all. Why are we doing this? Because we want money. We basically just see the people as sheep and we'll just use them. We'll make lots of money, tons of money off them. We'll be billionaires, we'll be trillionaires, and we're basically just getting all this money and this greed off of the dead, okay? And that's the most sinister form of, I don't even call it a corporation, just it's complete and total hideous domain that they are, right? It's coming out of a demonic domain, right? These are demonic domains. I don't even call them corporations. They're demonic domains doing that, right? They will basically try to profit off people's lives. And that's the most sickest thing there is. So to answer your question, Ian, in time, yes, we will start to see that because people are going to realize, I'm not going to doctors. I'm not going anything relating to pharmaceuticals whatsoever. I'm hanging that towel up. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to look into alternative treatments. So I will go talk to a holistic practitioner. I will go talk to a Qigong master. I will go talk to Ayurvedic practitioner. I will go talk to traditional Chinese therapy, traditional Chinese medicine, holistic therapists as well too. I will do all of these different things, these alternatives. I'll start looking much more into the Eastern medicine because that's the medicine that has stood the test of time for hundreds and thousands of years. That's the kind of medicine that you guys should be getting involved with, right? I'm not saying that there's, all the Western doctors are horrible. No, there's some good ones, okay? Because the good ones are there when they're open to both the West and the East, when they're open to you looking into alternatives and you have a good doctor there, right? If you're telling, I'm doing some Ayurveda, and that's great. I hope it does really well for you. There's a good doctor, okay? They're very supportive of you looking into alternatives. They realize that they're not the holy grail to your health, right? They're encouraging you to look into other things. That is a good doctor, okay? That's a good person. That's who you want to work with. It's like, no, get away from that stuff. Get away from the traditional Chinese medicine and the Ayurveda and stuff. Only I have the answers, okay? That's an egomaniac. Goodbye. See you later. Okay? We got to develop discerning minds here, everybody. Okay? I know we want to basically go to a doctor and so the doctor's going to try and fix us up and patch us up and do all this work, and then they just bash everything else. And all they're really doing is just throwing a bunch of drugs at you. They're not actually helping you. Okay? A doctor helping you is not a doctor throwing drugs at you. Okay? They're actually really concerned about your well-being. So maybe they're recommending, hey, have you looked into starting a yoga class? right? I have a friend who is a naturopath, or I have another friend who's into Qigong here. I have another friend who's into Chinese medicine. I could probably get him to talk to you as well too. There's a good doctor, okay? That's a Western medical doctor. So if there's Western medical doctors like that are open, right, that are warm and welcoming, and they're very invitational to other doctors that come together or other forms of medicinal practitioners, perfect. You got a really good doctor. That hold on to that doctor, okay? That's what I recommend, is looking at people who are open-minded. Not just open-minded, but are naturally discerning as well too. All right, let's take a look at some other questions here. Grow said, someone told me yesterday, and thank you for your donation, Grow. Someone told me yesterday that they should mix the same ingredients as the COVID-19 vaccines into the children's vaccines. Is it true or just scaremongering? That's complete and total scaremongering, Grow. I don't even need to look at a card for that. Okay, that's scaremongering. Guys, again, this is what I'm talking about. There's a difference between being open-minded and being discerning-minded, okay? Everybody will say something stupid on the internet, okay? You guys are going to experience a lot of trolls here, okay? It's a troll's paradise, the interwebs, all right? Don't believe in everything that you see, okay? Like I said, what's happening with a lot of the vaccines right now is they're being phased out quietly behind the scenes. A lot of them are becoming saline-based. They're becoming more of a placebo, okay? So the ones that are getting it in that sense, it's not going to lead into as much of the horrific natures when it first came out. There's been a lot of infiltration surrounding, and I've already looked into a reading with this, that the majority of the vaccines right now that are coming country to country are going to start turning placebo, okay? So that's basically what's taking place right now. So again, a lot of people who don't know a damn thing, right? No disrespect to the person, but they're dumber than a box of rocks. And they come on here and they start spewing all this garbage and rhetoric. Oh yeah, they're going to start mixing stuff into children's vaccines. They're going to do this, blah, blah. Okay, where's your proof of that? Where's your evidence? Have you even looked in here? No, I'm just saying. Yeah, exactly. It's what we call the dumb box of rocks rumor mill. Okay? You got to be careful with that. Unfortunately, there are some very, very stupid internet trolls that are out there that want to scare you, that feel like they have some type of authority, that feel like they have some type of news. Like, where's your source? What's your source? Are you checking within? Are you going to higher self? Oh, I don't even know what that is. Well, okay, what are you doing? Where's your source? I don't know, I just read it in some blog somewhere. Oh, well, that's really informative. It's really good. Okay? So Grow and everybody else, please be discerning. Please be careful. Okay? You're not going to get the mass amount of truth from the internet. 90 to 95% of the stuff that's on the internet is absolute garbage. Okay? You cannot rely on this technology to give you the truth. You can't, because it's crap. It's garbage. It's almost as bad as mainstream media, because you got so many trolls. You got so many cynical people on here who are just spewing garbage, and they pretend to be a big PhD and pretend that they have all this expertise in medicine. They don't. They're scam artists. Okay? Do not rely on the internet for your truth. Do not rely on MSM for your truth. It's like with me, right? You guys can always take or leave what I share, right? But a lot of what I get from comes from in here, because there's a beautiful connection in here. And this is what I'm attempting to teach you guys to do as well. When you're saying, Brad, this is what I feel from my heart, great. Now you're getting truth. I'm feeling this from my intuition. This is what's really happening. Great, because now that's the truth. Okay? That's the best source you could ever ask for, is what's in here. Okay? So Grow, I would not be concerned about stuff like that. This is, again, internet fear porn mongering is really what I'm seeing it as. And Lynn, thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate it. Blessings to you. All right, let me just go back up the list here a bit more. I just had to scroll down for some of the donations. Let's go down here. This one's Jane. Jane says, hello, Brad. My question today is about these 15-minute neighborhoods cropping up in cities in Canada and other countries. Would you pull the cards on this? Okay, the 15-minute cities, I guess you're talking about, right? Because we have had a conversation with that before, about 15-minute cities. I have looked at it, and that there's only certain places that are doing that. It's not going to last, guys. It's not going to last. It's going to fall apart very, very quickly. But let's take a look at the reading with that. Again, kind of an update reading from when I was talking about it a few weeks back before. We'll take a look at these 15-minute cities. Are they going to last? What do they represent? Okay. So there are, like I said, there are some that are existing. They have basically tried to erect quite a few of these 15-minute neighborhoods or 15-minute cities, and some people have experienced them. Okay, so they are very much real. Okay, but they're not going to last long. Okay, they're going to be taken down very, very quickly. So whatever the means in regards to what they're trying to do, trying to isolate people, trying to restrict people in regards to traveling elsewhere, it's going to fall apart really quick. Okay, it's not going to last. Here's the sunshine. So I'm thinking probably about maybe the next few weeks, we may start to see a lot of them being taken down. I don't know if all of them will be, but quite a few of them are going to be taken down because there's going to be no jurisdiction. People start making noise, these things will be taken down. Okay, you start banging the pots and pans. Look what they did in Denmark, guys. They went all the way to their legislature with pots and pans, and they just started banging them. Okay, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. You go to your legislature. Okay, bong, 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 bong. Nobody can get their work done, right? You got hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. Bong, 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 bong. Yep, we're not going to take this anymore. We want those 15-minute cities. We want those 15-minute neighborhoods taken down right now. And we're not going to stop. And we're going to keep banging our pots and pans until this is done. And then thousands are going to join you. There will be so much noise. Nobody can concentrate. Nobody can focus. It's okay, fine, we'll do it. Okay? That's really what we can do. Take the advice from Denmark when they were doing that. Going right up to the political infrastructure and just banging pots and pans, right? That's what you guys do in Alberta. That's what you do in Ontario. That's what you do in Saskatchewan. That's what you do in BC. It's what you go into in California, with Washington State, with Oregon, with Utah, with Iowa, with Idaho, with New York, with Pennsylvania, right? Name all the states, with everywhere you are. Bong, 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 bong. And believe that's going to get some attention. Okay? Make yourselves heard. Coordinate. Come together. Work with your soul tribes. Right? Make some noise. And that's what's going to make a difference. Okay? I apologize if I'm being too loud with my clapping of hands, but I had to give a demonstration, right? So if I was doing that all day, I'm thinking you guys are going, oh my God, Brad, so I'm getting the hell out of here. Well, that's the point. Okay? Is you got to make some noise. You got to go out and you got to be creative, and you're going to let your voice be heard. And if we have to make a ruckus, because we're not going to stand for anything in regards to 15-minute cities or 15-minute neighborhoods, and we're going to make a lot of noise, and if that's what we have to do, then that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're not going to stop. We're going to do it by the hundreds, we're going to do it by the thousands, we're going to do it by the tens of thousands, until all of these things are taken down. And that's what it is. That's the people taking their power back. That's brilliant. Okay? That's what we do. So, like I said in the cards here, I don't think it's going to last too long. I think we're probably going to see the end of it maybe around the matter of weeks. We're seeing the sun. We're seeing great transition coming ahead here, right? I mean, we're just pulling this one out random. Here's a death card. We're seeing the death of those ideas of 15-minute cities. The corrupt is falling, guys. The corrupt is falling apart, and we're seeing it every single day, right? But we have seen what kind of corrupt world we have been living in. We've been seeing what we have been tolerating for centuries, okay? It's been a filthy, mud-stricken, dirty, nasty, filthy artificiality that has been around our planet for so very long. Where our food has been poisoned, our water has been poisoned, our air has been poisoned, the products we're buying are garbage, right? It's just all of this pollution. It's all of this toxicity. It's just the idea of trying to turn this world into a demonic dominion, right? And now we're starting to see it fall apart. Now we're just starting to see everything relating to those disgusting infrastructures falling down. And we have to take our power back. Because like I said, guys, as many other spokespeople have said for a very long time, experts, teachers, and so forth, they will fear the most when the people start to wake up. When people realize what's actually happening here, they educate themselves well, they come together, they come out in droves to work together with each other and take these systems down. That's what they are scared to death of. And you start doing that a lot more. You start banging those pots and pans. You start doing freedom convoys. You start doing rallies. You start doing protests, right? You let yourselves be known. And you let yourselves know we're not budging until this is all gone. We're not moving an inch until all of these corrupt things, 15-minute cities, vaccinations, etc., are gone. And we're not going to budge. We will not buy your products. We will not buy anything. We will not support the pharmaceutical industries. We will watch them die. All right? And that's it. When you have determined people like that, oh my God, is there a revolution? Oh my God, is there change? That's wonderful. That's where you guys want to be. Okay? And it's moving in that direction. It certainly is. Okay. So this one here is from Love of Spirit. Question is, Canadian housing market, please, and blessings to all. Version of the one. All right. Canadian housing market. Let's take a look and see how things are going. I can't really look too far ahead. We can probably look as far as about a year. Okay. But we'll see how the Canadian housing market. Will the Canadian housing market start to improve by the end of 2023? Okay. Let's take a look at that. I'd like to know that too, because in a couple of years I'm thinking of buying a house too. So, so we'll see. Okay. So just asking the question, the Canadian housing market, will it start to improve itself? Will it be in a better state before the end of 2023? It's almost 12 o'clock already. Holy crap, guys. Time is flying. So I'll probably go another 10 or 15 minutes here. Can't believe that. Like the hour's gone just like that. It's insane. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I won't hold our breath. Okay. There's still going to be some stuff regarding the housing market. I think it's probably going to take a couple of years. Okay. Like I said, things are going to start moving ahead. It's going to start moving in the right direction, right? Because there's going to be some more exposure with it. There's going to be some light shed upon these things, right? So there's going to be some answers, some accountability in regards to these high housing costs as well, too. And I think something in regards to the housing market needs to collapse. I think there's a great collapse that's going to be coming together with the housing market. And there's going to be some infighting with that. So there's going to be some squabble, there's going to be some skirmishes, there's going to be some protests, there's going to be some fighting in regards to the housing market of people just basically not even wanting to buy houses. So I think there needs to be a dipping period, right? And I think that dipping period could come at the end of the year. It might start in the early part of 2024 as well too. But I just say don't hold your breath right now with the housing market becoming more affordable, okay? It needs to go through this dip first, okay? Once it goes through this dip, then there's going to be some consequences pertaining to that dip, and there may be an opportunity for housing to be a lot less. And that will also come to the idea of the new financial system as well too. Okay, so yeah, I think there's still a bit more of a weight with that. As much as I'd love to say, oh, it's great news and we're going to see a lot more affordable housing, no. It's going to continue to climb for a bit longer until there's a dip. Once that dip happens, and that's leading in the right direction, and there will be less of a boom period for the market and basically a plummet. Like I said, we saw the tower. Okay, so there needs to be a wrecking ball that comes into the current state of the housing market, and it needs to smash right through it altogether. And then maybe 2023 late or 2024 early, somewhere around that time, maybe we'll see something change. But I don't feel it happening anytime soon, unfortunately. Okay. All right, let's go down the list here a bit more. Star Owl asks, is red light therapy safe 2 to 4 times a week? By red light therapy, I assume you're meaning infrared? Far infrared? Yes. I have a far infrared portable sauna in my house, and I use that maybe about 3 or 4 times per week. Right? I haven't actually used it for a while, but I'm now starting to get back into it, and I feel really, really great. So I'm not too sure if that's what you mean by the red light therapy. Okay. Far infrared. All right. I've had nothing but good benefits from that. Right? I just feel afterwards when I go through that, I feel very clean inside. I feel great. Okay. But everybody's different. So from my perspective, I enjoy using it about that amount of time too. 2 to 4 times per week. I'm aiming about 3 to 4 times per week for myself. Okay. Thank you. Oh, here's an interesting question. It's kind of synchronistic as well too. The Funky Sway says, can dental infections like root canals be healed? Yes. Okay. They can certainly be healed. And the ether bed can certainly help you with that. The ether cloth can also help you with that. Working together with these. Okay, so I printed out a green one as well too. Okay, so this one here is the free trial symbol that you activate. This is the activation based one. This one you just print off right away. This is the non-verbal one, okay? So if I'm holding the non-verbal one in my hands, feeling, oh my God, I'm feeling it right away. It's really strong, right? If I'm just holding up like this, I'm getting, oh my God, my whole head is buzzing. I'm just holding this one up because you don't need to activate this one. My whole head is buzzing just by holding up just like this, right? And I'm just looking at it. I'm getting high off this one, okay? This is what you can use, okay? So you go to Etherics.co, you go to the samples page, and you can download any of those 2 free samples. Some people like to activate the, I'm still getting high off that, man. Where was I? Okay. I'm getting high off my own symbols here. So basically, you're just printing them off. Like I said, when you may want to activate the blue one, or if you don't want to activate it, you just want to go ahead and use the non-verbal one, go for that too. Even though it says non-verbal, it's for everybody, okay? I was getting high off it just for a minute. And I'm just like looking at it for like 10 seconds, guys, and I'm getting, my whole face is just getting buzzed and feeling great. Like I could just sit with that for like 5 minutes. It would look like I'm stoned, but I'm not. I'm just high on love. I'm high off the living prana contained in the solar plexus. So yes, just lay down and put this on your face, okay? Lay down, just put it on your face just like this. Oh my God, that feels so good. Now here's another trick as well too, okay? You can take the paper, fold it in half, okay? Fold it in half, put it right down by your mouth, okay? If you have some teeth problems, if you have some gums problems, just take the paper, fold it in half, because what happens is even on this side, there's codes, okay? It's not just here. It's over here too, okay? The entire paper that this symbol is printed on is now coded. Even the side that doesn't even have a symbol on it is now coded. So even if I'm putting it like this, I'm still getting high off it, okay? I'm still getting that pure prana, that flow. Oh my God, that's so awesome. That is such a wonderful feeling. Glad I printed that one out this morning. Okay, and you just fold it in half, put it down by the mouth, and just lay down for a little while, okay? And that's going to start going to work right on your teeth. It'll work right on your gums. It'll work right on your mouth, your whole jaw, your tongue, everything, okay? And it's penetrating because that's the healing mode. That's the healing mode from the ether bed, okay? So you're working with the healing mode. From that, like I said, it's free. It's available to you. So that's a good way to help heal viral, bacterial agents deeply embedded within the gums. Here's the secret, guys. You never, ever need a root canal, okay? Never, ever get one, okay? I got one as a teenager, and I was regretting it so much. It's the worst mistake you could possibly make for yourself, okay? There's so much damage that comes out of a root canal after it's done. You're much more susceptible to bacterial infections because my mouth was quite a mess even after getting a root canal, okay? It's horrible. Never get one, okay? Even when the doctor is begging and pleading, you need a root canal. I said, no, screw off. I'm not getting a root canal. I'm going home. I'm going to get to Etherics.co. I'm going to print off the nonverbal trial, and I'm going to heal this mofo up myself. That's it, okay? Never get a root canal, guys. Never, ever, ever, ever. Okay, I've been through it. I know what it's like. I know a lot of dentists will try and recommend, they'll try to bribe you. I'll give you a lollipop afterwards, right? Don't do it. Just don't do it. That would be my recommendation. It's one of the most horrible things you could ever do for your mouth, okay? It's horrible. There's no scientific backing that actually cures the problem. You're basically just creating a cesspool within your mouth that is now an agent for harsh bacteria, okay? Root canals are a scam. Never get them, okay? Use the Etherics technology, clean out your mouth altogether, okay? Work with holistic medicine, mineralize yourself, okay? Work with mineral. This is what I'm drinking here, guys, okay? It's not Kool-Aid. This is mineral water, okay? So you're getting your electrolytes. Work with that as well too, okay? Mineralize your body. That will majorly help your teeth. If you're brushing your teeth, mineralize toothpaste, okay? Work with Etherics. Clear out everything. Work with the healing code cards. Do all that stuff and just clean out your mouth altogether. You don't need a root canal. Never, ever try to get them to get you one, okay? They're horrible. You don't need them. They're not scientifically backed to do anything but screw up your mouth, And I know that personally because I've had one. Okay, never get them. They suck, they're horrible, and they're useless. And they do more harm than good. Okay, just my own perspective on that. Okay, so I think we're going to take about 2 or 3 more questions, guys, and we're going to wrap up here. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down the list here a bit more. Okay. Getting some people here sharing some good information about the healing, about the ether beds. Awesome. Okay, let me just go down the list here a bit more. Okay, here's one from Love Is. Love Is asks, will California be affected by earthquakes? All right, so are we seeing more earthquakes looking to come in California in the times ahead? So let's take a look at that. Okay, from what I'm really getting from the cards, it doesn't look like it. Okay, I'm not saying that there might be minor quakes or something like that, but a big, gigantic, big one, no. Not really what I'm getting, right? So I know there's a lot of fear surrounding this. People feeling that they're being prepared, you know, if anything happens, you know, right on the fault. So we need to be careful, etc., etc. But I'm not really getting that. I feel like there's a lot more security coming in, right? It kind of feels like there's these blue skies coming in. It feels like everything's okay right now for California, right? Of course, there's this winter situation happening with California right now. But as far as earthquakes go, no. It looks like the foundation, the bedrock of California is being reinforced. It's being strong. It's getting strong, right? So there's definitely a lot of work being done around California, okay? It's a very beautiful, sacred place, okay? California has always been like my second home, and I've always loved California. And when I go down there, I see like there's a strong foundation. Like we're always being told it's also weak because we got the San Andreas Fault and all that stuff like that. And they're trying to encourage that with movies and all that stuff. Oh my God, San Andreas, and we're gonna watch everything break apart. And California is very strong. California is very sturdy, right? There's a lot of love in California as well too. Okay, so I'm just getting nothing but positive cards here, really. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything in regards to any harsh earthquakes looking to come to California. So it looks like we got a pretty good clear bill there, right? A clean bill of health relating to California as it exists right now, okay? But 2023 major earthquakes for California, not that I'm seeing, okay? Like I said, there's a lot of strength, there's a lot of great foundation with California, okay? And I don't sense anything in regards to a massive major earthquake taking place there. They've been trying to do that to California for a very long time, and California has had some moderately big ones, but never the giant one that they've always been prophesied. They've been saying the same thing with the entire West Coast, right? The whole West Coast, oh my God, there's going to be a big one. There'll be like a factor 9 earthquakes. No. Mm-mm. Those times have really come and passed. It's not to say we don't get minor ones or mediocre sized ones, but the idea of a massive one of that scale, no, I'm not seeing anything like that happening. And they've been talking about that since the day I was born. Okay. So thanks for your question. We're going to end with one more question, guys. We're going to do one more question to wrap up. Okay, let me scroll down closer to the bottom here. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll end with this one. I think we'll kind of go more into a metaphysical question to end today's broadcast. So Sensei says, question, hi Brad, how do we learn to remove negative energy and attachments, cords that are from others? Namaste. Okay, well, there are no others. Okay, this is the great lesson that I teach you guys as well too. There are no others. Well, Brad, there's my mom and my dad right in front of me. Okay, it's not what I'm talking about. Everything that represents yourself has always come from you. There's no others to put that into you. Okay, nobody can just come up to you and just pop a spiritual cord right into you and say, here you go. Okay, it doesn't work that way. It is all based upon relationship. It is all based upon rapport. It is all based upon reaction. Okay, it's all about that idea that you are giving meaning to your pain. You're giving meaning to a person who has hurt you. You are giving meaning to a situation that has hurt you. You are giving meaning to a thing that has hurt you. You are giving meaning to an object, to an event, to a person. Okay? That is what you're giving meaning to, and that's where the cord forms. Your reaction, your emotional investment in that person, place, object, or thing, event or thing, that's what the cord is doing. That's where you get basically negative, because of how you see something. How you perceive the world is based upon the meaning that you have assigned to that person, place, event, or thing. Okay? So once you realize that if I have animosity towards my mom, if I have animosity towards my dad, if I have animosity towards my grandparents or my best friend or my boss or a politician, right? Or a place or an object, right? I won't pick up that thing because it gives me nightmares when I pick up that thing, okay? This is it. You're putting meaning towards those things. It's the meaning that you apply to that stimulation that creates that outcome, to what we would call a negative cord or anything of that nature. So I've pretty much already taught you guys how to clear that out. I mean, guys, Brad, release ball method, yes. But there's also the cord removal healing, okay? That's also available on my playlists. So any particular technique of mine that you want to do, all of them work, right? But really what it comes down to is that you have to train yourself to realize, look what I'm imprinting towards a person, place, event, or thing. I'm imprinting that. I'm putting that particular value, and it can be a negative value as well too, towards that subject, towards that external. Because everything's an external, guys. Yes, your family, your friends are externals. Okay? You're the one that's giving them meaning. You're the only one in your reality that's contained in your center. Nobody else is contained in your center. Okay? I don't care how close they are to you. It's your center. We can have wonderful, loving people in our life, absolutely. And they're a reflection of complement to how we love, to how happy we truly are. Okay? I have people in my life with that. Okay? And as I know a lot of you guys do too. But we also have those people, places, events, or things that are devastating to us. So who is it that made that person devastating? You did. This is why I say there is no other. There is no other that is responsible for plugging in a cord and saying, oh my God, I'm gonna have a negative thing because of this guy. It's all their fault. No, it's not. It's your imprint upon that person that's causing you to feel the way that you do. It's your negative reaction, negatively oriented reaction pertaining to hurt, some form of victimization, some form of dependency, some form of abuse, whatever it may be. That is what you have imprinted upon that person, place, event, or thing. And you are the only one who can cut that cord loose. How do we do that? We surrender. Okay? We surrender ourselves, we cut the cord, we release. And as we have lived in a very, very dirty, influential world, there's a lot of cords to cut. But once you understand how to cut a cord, a very intense one for the first time, you're just doing it again and again and again. And we're not focusing on the weed heads that are popping out of the soil. We're representing our garden, okay? We're tracing it. We're going into the root until we come into the bulb. And now we deal with the bulb. How do we deal with the bulb? These are called traumas. And that's what we're clearing away. There's only 4 traumas that exist within man. Abandonment, rejection, abuse, addiction. Okay? Comes down to those 4. Abandonment. Well, I want security. I want somebody to take care of me because I don't think I can do it myself. I have that dependency of wanting security. Rejection. I want approval. I want to appease people. I want a person to give me praise. I want to feel like I can be approved by somebody. Because if I don't, oh my God, am I going to feel horrible rejection? Abuse, victimization, and control. I'm a victim and this person did this to me. I'm going to control everything. And oh my God, you better not say that trigger word. You better not say that. You better not say that. You better not say that. Because I'm a victim and I got to control everything. Otherwise, I go through the greatest shadows of abuse and I fall apart. Addiction. I got to escape. I got to run away. I can't handle this. I need to have some sort of fix. I need to have some sort of drug. I need to have some sort of substance because I can't handle this reality. I got to run. I got to run. I got to run. I got to escape. I got to escape. Escape. I'm going to indulge in lust. I'm going to indulge in lust. And I'm going to run, escape, 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 escape. Because I'm addicted to this. Because I can't face that. Okay? These are the 4 traumas. So when you realize that anything that I've shared pertaining to those 4 traumas is relating to you, that's exactly what we're surrendering to and we're releasing. That's all we have to do, guys. You got to get out of this illusion of thinking that somebody over here is to blame 100% for the way that you feel. Because it's not them, it's you. Okay? And I know that some other people say, oh, you guys, it's not your fault. No, sorry. It is your fault. Okay? Now, we don't realize that we're at fault, and that's okay. But these are, again, your situations. They are your imprints, and you cannot expect anybody else to come in and try to resolve your own imprints for you. They're yours. Okay? The way you feel towards somebody is your own value. How you feel abused by them, how you feel hurt by them, attacked by them, whatever it may be, is your own value that you have assigned. All through you. There is no other. Everything else is an external. It's all you. You are the only internal. Did you know that? The only internality is you. You've never seen anything internal that is not you. You're the innerness. Everything out here looks like there's externals, looks like there's other people, okay? But they're all reflections. They're all reflections of you. And they're all here consciously, subconsciously, because of our assignment of how we see ourselves. We come to this world to teach ourselves how to be God. We come to this world to teach ourselves to know that here I am with happiness. Because I just come here, I want to be happy. I want to be completely and totally happy. But I have come to this world because I'm looking at all of these limited-based concepts and looking at limitation and looking at separate self-consciousness. And I'm learning to evolve and grow out of that. So all that remains within me is my godhood, is my Godhead, is my godliness. Because godliness is happiness. Godliness is lovingness. Godliness is the self. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. It's like Adronis was talking about in the last webinar, where he was talking about the idea of being interstellar. Humanity is not equipped to go into the interstellar at this time because they're still learning how to interconnect with each other. They're still learning how to love themselves. They're still learning how to love each other. And that's a big requirement from graduating from a planetary civilization to a galactic civilization. You need to have that interconnectedness. You have to see everyone and everything as you. You're the center point. Everything you do in life is because of your will. Brad, I want to go out and I want to help people. And I want to help humanity. Okay, that's great. But that's only because you want to do it, not because anybody else wants you to do it. Right? That's the catch-22. I'm here to serve humanity. No, you're not. You're here to work together with what you feel you want to achieve. It's based on your ambition. It's based on your goal. Humanity hasn't come to you and say, hey, will you serve us? It's your own drive. It's your own commitment. Anything that you have always served has been your own interests. Even when you're helping others, that's based on your own interests. You are not here to serve humanity. You are here to serve yourself. And if through that servingness comes the idea of helping others, then that's how it will come about. There is no such thing as saying, I'm just here for humanity. No, you're not. That's very noble of you, but that's not why you're here. You're here to work through your own interest or interests that work to help to evolve you, that will therefore incorporate the collective of humanity and the collective of the earth to show you how you can achieve that. That's it. Okay? So it's nice. People say, Brad, I'm just here to serve humanity. I want to be of service to humanity. Okay, how would you want to do that? I don't know. I get those a lot too. Right? How about that? Okay, how would you like to serve humanity? I have no idea. what I'm here to do, what I'm here to do. Well, see, that's why it doesn't work. You can't serve humanity because you don't even know what you want to do. So what is your own interest? Okay, I want to be a healer. Great. So through your own interest of being a healer, you're bringing forward the collective who's helping you so that you can therefore fulfill that achievement. Okay? Everything you do is ultimately self-serving. Why is that? Because there is only the self. You've never experienced selflessness. There's no such thing. Okay? We can look into the idea of a service that seems selfless, but you're not being selfless even when you're helping another person, because that person's you, because everything's you. Everything comes down to the nature of self-interest. It does, right? Well, Brad is not being very selfish. Well, I wouldn't put it that way, but it's the idea as I've termed it as selfness. Because you show me anybody else who you feel you can just go into their life and just start manipulating and controlling and 100% living their life. You can't. There's only you. There's only you in the center. Therefore, as you are the self, all that exists is the self. All that there is the self. Really, even beyond existence. There is only the self. So everything you do is based on self-interest, is based on self-accomplishment, is based on self-achievement, is based on self-dedication, is built on self-resolve. There's never been a selflessness. You've never experienced it. It's like if I was to tell you completely experience right now what it is to not be. You couldn't do it. Okay? So if I was to say, okay, I want you to completely not be the self at all. You couldn't do it. You've never experienced selflessness. So it represents the idea of a achievement that we do, because we're working together with others, and so, oh, that's such a selfless thing to do, that's great. Be totally selfless, and that's great. You can't. You can't be selfless because you've never experienced selflessness, right? You've only experienced the self. So you're performing selfness, not selflessness. There's no such thing. That's a little buzzword. That's actually a pretty dumb word, actually, because it doesn't exist. Just practice not being, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead and not be. Brad, I wouldn't even know what to do with that exactly. Right? So it's the exact same thing in this way. Everything you do is ultimately of self-interest, self-resolution. Okay? You can be wonderful and you can help a lot of people. You can be a nurse, you can be a doctor, you can be a holistic practitioner, you can be a teacher, you can be all these different things, and you're helping people. Really what you're doing is you're helping yourself. I'm doing this for me. Guys, that's the truth of the matter. Am I really doing this for somebody else? Because if I do that, then I'm going to get lost and I'm going to fall apart very quickly, because it's not my own will that I'm demonstrating. If somebody else tells me to go do this and I know that's not what I want to do, I'm not going to be doing it for long, because that's going to be self-defeating. Right? It's only when I truly feel my heart path and I'm following my heart path that is revealing the true happiness that I am. It's my own self-interests that are actually moving myself into self-liberation. It's what I do through being self-resolute that helps me to understand and realize, truly realize, that I am happiness. I've been it all along, and it's never been out here. It's always been in here. It's always been me. It's neither out or in, it just is. And I am the isness of happiness. So, Sensei, that's what I can share a little bit more in regards to your connection, your question. Okay, went a little bit beyond the idea of attachment cords and negative entities from others. See, that's another little buzz phrase right there. What about this from others? No others, no others, no others, no others. Just you, just you, just you. Okay? And when you start to govern you and move yourself into your sovereignty, you are going to realize that you have been completely and totally free all along. It's just you doing the gardening for your own inner work. All right? Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today for New Earth Tarot. I'll be back tomorrow again for New Earth TV Live. Thank you again for all of your questions, and I look forward to tomorrow. We're going to do another Earth meditation, distance healing, and Q&A as well, too. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time for New Earth TV Live. Much love to you all. Be well. Namaskar. Thank you so much for tuning in to New Earth Teachings on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can do private sessions with me, and also Etherics.co. And through Etherics, you'll be able to pick up your Healing Code Cards body deck, your mind deck, and your energy deck through Etherics. You will also be able to pick up the Etherbed kit. That is also on Etherics as well. Not to mention that you'll also be able to pick up some apparel and accessories that is also available on Etherics. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Namaskar, and may it be well with you.